There you go.
Okay, so make a motion to accept the agenda for a meeting for the Scituate Board of Health for Monday, January 31st, 2022 at 6 p.m. This Zoom is a Zoom meeting.
So moved.
Okay, so I have do I have to do it on that too, Drew?
Yeah, roll call vote to accept.
Okay, roll call to accept the agenda. Karen,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
and Doug, yes. Okay, so moving on to scheduled items. First on discuss and vote septic design hearing, 129 Glades Road, Morse Engineering representing homeowner, request of installation of septic system regarding local upgrade variances. So Greg, if you're on, if you want to just give us an update.
Sure. Thank you. For the record, Gregory Morse. I'm a registered engineer with Morse Engineering, representing the property owner, John Foley. This is a septic system repair project at 129 Glades Road. 129 Glades Road is an existing 3-bedroom single-family home, and it has a failed Title V septic system. The proposal here is to replace it with a new Title V septic system, but the lot itself is very constrained with respect to the lot area, the property lines. It's a relatively small lot, approximately 3,000 square feet. What we've done is we've cited a new 3-bedroom septic system. It consists of a septic tank, a distribution box, and infiltrator leaching chambers, but it requires 5 local upgrade approvals in accordance with the Title V regulations. Those local upgrade approvals are listed on the plan, but specifically they include a setback from the property line to the soil absorption system proposed at 2.7 feet, a setback on the property line to the septic tank, 3.9 feet, a setback from the water service to the septic tank at 3 feet, a separation in the groundwater to bottom of SAS from 5 feet to 4 feet, and then excavation of only 1 test pit in the disposal area. We've cited the system as best we can, given the constraints out there. This is not new construction. This is a repair on an existing house. Conservation reviewed this project at their meeting last week and unanimously approved the project. I'd turn it over to you.
Okay. Joan, is there anything before we?
No, we don't have any problem with it. They're upgrading a cesspool, so
Okay.
we're fine with it. We just have to wait for conservation. If they're going to conservation, I don't know if they are.
I think he said that they already approved it, just
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
so.
We just wait for
Karen, do you
them
want-
to give us okay.
Okay. So Karen, do you want to make the motion?
Sure. I'll move to approve the septic repair plan for 129 Glades Road with the following upgrades requested. Number 1, the requested reduction from required 10 feet to 2.7 feet between the SAS and the property line. Number 2, the request reduction from the required 10 feet to 3.9 feet between the septic tank and the property line. 3, the requested reduction from the required 10 feet to 3 feet between the septic tank and the water service. 4, the requested reduction from required 5 feet to 4 feet between the estimated seasonal high groundwater and the bottom of the SAS. And 5, the requested 1 deep observation hole in the proposed disposal area. Having heard there's Conservation Committee approval, we'll just move to approve it.
So, Karen, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Okay, Kelly
Yes.
and Doug, I vote yes. So that is all set.
Great, thank you.
Okay, discuss and vote septic design hearing, 13 Hallworth Road, Morse Engineering representing homeowner, request of installation of septic system regarding local upgrades and variances.
Good evening. Again, for the record, Gregory Morse, registered engineer, Morse Engineering, representing the property owner, Brian Hessen. The property is located at 13 Hawthorne Street, which is in the Hummerock section of town. It's an existing 4-bedroom home serviced by a cesspool in the backyard. It failed it didn't fail a Title V inspection, but there have been problems with the system. It's in a failing condition. The homeowner is proposing to upgrade it with a new septic tank, a distribution box, and infiltrator leaching chambers. It required 2 local upgrade approvals. One of them being that the soil absorption system is specified as 7.9 feet from the property line, where 10 feet is typically required. And then secondly, 1 test pit in the area of the soil absorption system. Conservation Commission has already reviewed this project and gave it unanimous approval. This is not new construction. This is repair on an existing home. I turn it over to you.
Okay. Joan, same thing with this, all set?
Yeah, we're all set with it.
Okay. Karen, if you want to make the motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the septic repair plan for 13 Hawthorne Road with the following upgrades requested. Number 1, the request of a 1 deep observation hole in the proposed disposal area, and the requested reduction from the required 10 feet to 7.9 feet between the SAS and the property line.
Okay. So Karen, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Okay. Kelly?
Yes.
And Doug, I vote yes. So all set, Greg?
Great. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Good night, Greg.
Thanks.
Okay, so new business. Any new business?
No,
Old business? So I guess we need the director's report.
so our first meeting of the new year, we have 15 sets of plans under 45-day review. We are waiting on 13 as-built plans. We have 5 sets waiting for engineer revisions, 9 are waiting conservation review, and we have 22 in failure. So our numbers are starting to come down in COVID, as we're seeing it come down throughout the whole New England area. I guess the count that we're getting from Boston Harbor, from the Stewart's plant out there, it's showing that it's really starting to come down. It's amazing how they track it that way. So that is good news. We had, I believe we peaked at 105 cases about 2 weeks ago. Last week, I think it was still close to 100. And then this previous week that we just finished was 48 cases. And that's not including Saturday, because Saturday was a complete washout. There were no tests done, so we had no results. So that's a 6-day number, but it would still be, I mean, unless we had some crazy number like 50 or 60 in one day, which we haven't, I highly doubt it. So we are definitely going in the right direction. The positivity rate for the town is still right around 16%. It's a little deceiving because that's going back 14 days. And when you go back, we had some pretty high numbers back there. So hopefully, you know, when we see this week and next week coming up, we'll see that percentage rate come down. We're 84% fully vaccinated, and that's everyone with at least 2 doses of either Pfizer or Moderna or 1 of the J&J. It doesn't mean that 84% is boosted, but again, 84% is fully vaccinated. All of the age groups are high in the 80s. If not, there are a few that are in the 90s. Our youngest age group, which we just got, Kelly, you might have, I looked at the numbers earlier today. I want to say it's up of over 50% right now for that last age group, 5 to 13 or 5 to 12, I think it is. So those numbers have come up within the last week of that being updated. We continue to work closely with all the other departments and the businesses in town to answer any of the questions that they may have, especially when it comes to isolation and quarantine with positive cases. You know, the quarantine standards have changed as we've learned more about the disease. So we've been updating people and giving people information when they call on that. It's still, if you have a positive test, you're isolated for 5 days. And you can come out on day 6 if your symptoms have subsided and you are not having a temperature for the last 24 hours without any medication. So they've come down. Again, They may change again, but that's basically the standard. Hopefully, with the numbers coming down, we'll be able to see some return to real normalcy within the next month or so. We had the town, we've done several booster clinics leading up to Christmas and New Year's. We gave out, I think, over 250 booster shots at the senior center within that month of December. We're not currently planning on doing any future booster shots. We do not have any vaccine right now. You can still get vaccines at your local pharmacy. They still have vaccine available. And if you go online, you can. And I know Manic Community Health that operates out of Hull and Quincy, they have vaccine available and they're still doing testing too. We also gave out close to 500 flu shots this season. We still have flu shots available if you wanted to make an appointment to come down here. Maybe you're planning a late cruise out to Alaska. This would be a good time to get it if you're going to be going out there. It usually runs a little bit behind us, so now would not be a bad time to get it if you're going to be going out there.
Drew, can I ask you one question about the flu?
Go ahead.
How does that number compare with past years? Like, is that typical? We usually give out 500 per year.
We've been giving out less and less because of the availability at the pharmacies to get it.
Okay.
We used to, I can guarantee you in here before this, and Joan can probably speak to it, they probably gave out a couple of thousand,
Got it.
probably 10
It's
years.
just readily accessible now, so people don't really
Yeah.
rely on us as much.
And when I was in Quincy, we actually went from giving out about 5,000 to 6,000 a year to not giving out any. We'd go to the senior houses and CVS was in there 2 weeks before
Oh, wow.
because they get the rebate. So we'd go up there and but that's why.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Readily available
Makes
at
sense.
all. And a lot of the doctor's offices, since the H1N1 scare, now carry the flu shot
Yep.
much more regularly than they did in the past too. So,
Yep. Great, thanks.
Permit Eyes is up and running. And if you ask me, it went very, very smoothly. I had nothing to do with it. It was all Teresa and Joan. They did all of the heavy lifting. They did all of the troubleshooting. They worked with the vendor. And this is the first test that we've had with all the new food establishments coming on. And I know they've had problems with it, but I think it's just been great because they've done an excellent job with it. I can't say enough about that.
Nice job.
And that's basically where we are. And Eileen Scotty has done just a tremendous job with just coordinating everything between the flu clinics, the booster clinics, the regular clinics, her home visits. She's an octopus right now with how many tentacles she has going in every single which way. So I can't say enough about the staff here. Just great.
Awesome.
Awesome job.
Yeah, that's great.
Hey, Joan, did you get any complaints about doing it this way on, that way for the licenses?
I think a few people were having a tough time with it if they had never used, computers and doing it online. So we did work through a lot of the glitches with them, and a lot of people were having a hard time making attachments and figuring out how to do that. I think as we go forward, it will be a lot easier because now they're already in the system.
Right.
And now they just have to update every year and pay their fee. So they just have to add their new documents. But I think it's much, much better. And I think they
Yeah.
liked it better than filling out a piece of paper. I think for the most part, everybody was very receptive to it.
Yeah, I had a conversation with someone, they were saying, oh my God, I go, it's new. Find a kid that is great with a computer, you'll be in and out of it, no problem. So
Right.
I said, and then it's going to be easier. All you have to do if something changes is just change it. You won't have to do filling out everything every single year.
Exactly. Now they just have to update it. So it's going to be a lot easier next year for them.
Yeah. All right. Any other business? All right, then I guess it's the Board of Health meeting minutes.
We have two sets that we are looking to approve from September 23rd and October 13th.
I'll make a motion to approve both sets.
Okay, so Karen, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, Kelly
Yes.
and Doug, yes. All right. And the last thing, I guess, is administrative invoice approval.
So I have invoices here. I have a refund that's going out to one of our franchises that double paid, the franchise paid, and then the actual owner of the franchise paid. So we have a refund going out for that. And then we have one perk test, two perk tests, one for 210, 280, another perk test for 210, another perk test for 280, and the last perk test for 280.
Okay. Someone want to make a motion to
Allow
approve?
my signature.
Motion to approve invoices as they were read. Can I say it that way?
Yep.
Okay.
Second,
And so Karen, how do you vote?
yes.
And Kelly
Yes.
and Doug is a yes. So without that, I would say make a motion to adjourn the Scituate meeting of the Board of Health on Monday, January 31st, 2022. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, and how do you vote, Karen?
Yes.
And Kelly?
Yes.
And Doug says yes.